Welcome to Round Glass. I'm Yael Shy. Thank you for joining me for this meditation today on embracing the longing within loneliness. Today's practice is going to be about uncovering the longing that resides in almost all experiences of loneliness. And we're going to try and really make space and open up to that longing. We're going to try and name it, feel it, and really experience it, whether or not we get the thing that we're after. So I'm excited to jump in with you. And before we begin, I want to just ask you a question to sit with for yourself and to place your answer into the chat if you want to. What's the one thing that you're really longing for right now? You can take a minute to really feel your way into the answer to that. What's the one thing that you are really longing for? When I feel into the question for myself, if you're having a hard time finding your way to that answer, you can also look at your loneliness. Most of us, maybe just me, but I think most of us walk around with like a kind of lingering feeling of loneliness a lot of the time. And I know for me, sometimes digging underneath, what is it that I want that's at the heart of me feeling lonely right now? And right now, I am surrounded by kids. I have two small kids, and they are on me a lot of the time. And it's been a very busy summer work-wise. And so when I touch into the longing, the thing that I'm longing for the most is probably some kind of long, deep, extended break alone. That's really what I want. It could be a meditation retreat, or it could just be like a multi-day nap on a really comfortable bed. That sounds amazing. So as you open up to the desire within your loneliness, you can start to kind of open the door to all of the feelings that come up as a result. So in that first moment, it can feel really counterintuitive. You can feel like, I don't want to feel the thing I want. I want to actually get rid of the thing that I want. The thing that I want is causing me pain. Like, for instance, right now, the desire I told you, I'm not going to get a chance to have one of these multi-day naps, maybe for a couple of years. I don't know. And so, maybe just the thought of opening up to it can be stressful. It can feel like I don't want to do that. But I found that actually, it's not that the desire is the thing that is painful. It's the grasping to the outcome of the desire. So if I was grasping to saying like, I'm not going to be okay, I'm not going to feel good until I get that break, I'm miserable, I'm suffering. If I really open up to the desire itself, to the feeling in the body, if I picture that luxurious nap and that deep rest, and I feel it wash over me, really playing out all over my body, I can get a little flavor, a little taste for that rest right now. Even though it's not happening, I can kind of invite in that desire, that longing, and it changes the texture and the feeling of the loneliness. And it matters just a little bit less whether I actually get the break, because I've tasted the flavor of the thing that I want right in this moment. And that's what I want for you. Whether your desire is for a partner, love, or for a job, I've done it with all of these things. I've practiced this practice with all of these things. You too can open up to that sense of longing underneath, inviting it in, and then releasing whether or not you get it or not. That's not our question. Our hope, our desire, our practice is to just stay with the longing. So before we settle in, I'm curious to see what some of you shared. So I see that people are longing for companionship. That's a huge one. I've felt that myself for many, many years, especially at the heart of loneliness. It's often what we want. A vacation at the beach, delightful. Expanded consciousness. Amazing. What a longing, what a desire for that expanded consciousness. Laughter, patience. Yes. A breakfast burrito. Love it. And an almond latte. Yum. All of it can be used. Seriously. The food, the deep desire for companionship or rest or patience, all of it can be practiced with. And we're going to open that door and just notice what happens to the loneliness when we invite in that longing. Just notice. It's an experiment. So I invite you now to find a comfortable position. Whether you're seated or you're lying down, you can just bring your body into a place that feels alert and at rest. So I often like to give my body a little twist, roll your shoulders, give your neck any kind of opening that feels nice for you right now. You can shake your hands out, roll your shoulders open, and let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Softening the places where you tend to hold tension in your jaw, in your shoulders, opening across the heart, softening your belly, relaxing your hips and legs, all the way down to the bottom of your feet. If you're sitting up, you can feel your spine rising up towards the sky. If you're lying down, you can feel whatever it is that you're lying against, fully supporting your body. And if you're standing, you can just feel the pressure on the bottom of your feet as your spine reaches towards the sky. Take a few deep, intentional breaths to soften, to relax, to arrive in the body. Letting that breath flood through you, softening any tight places. Bringing your attention and your awareness to this moment in your body, in your heart, softening and arriving. If it helps, you can bring a hand or two to your heart, like I'm doing, a hand or two to your belly, or one hand on your heart and one on your belly, to pull that attention inwards and to soften with each exhale. You can close your eyes, or you can always keep them softly focused in front of you, about 45 degrees in front of you. Remembering to soften the jaw and the muscles of the face. Each inhale bringing your attention in, and each exhale releasing a little bit more. And whenever you feel ready, if you'd like, you can soften your hands, bring them down, palms up, palms down, or folded in your lap. As we move through this meditation, your mind will inevitably wander around. It'll be thinking about the future, it'll be thinking about the past. Whenever you notice you're completely lost, you're somewhere else, you're thinking about other things, it's just an opportunity to soften and return. It does not mean you've done anything wrong. The mind likes to wander the same way the heart likes to beat. It's just what it does. So we don't have to have an oppositional relationship. You can just soften and return. Whenever you notice you're lost, you're gone. Soften and return. Now, I want to invite you to bring to mind a time, maybe now, maybe in recent history, where you felt lonely, where you can touch into a sense of loneliness. Take a moment just to notice where you feel that loneliness in your body. How do you know you're lonely? What signals is the body showing you, telling you? So drop in, notice not the stories about the loneliness, but initially just the feeling of it. For me, I can often feel the loneliness sort of as a emptiness in my belly area, maybe a bit of a pressure in the chest area. So just notice wherever it is for you. You can put your hand there if you'd like, or you can just notice what the sensations are, what's happening in your body. Now, nestled within that loneliness is a desire, a longing. The same way that when you feel hunger, it's a longing, a desire for food. Your loneliness is here to teach you, it's here to show you something. What does it want? What is it craving? What is it after? And you can really ask it that. Or perhaps the answer comes to you right away. Perhaps it's the thing you put into the chat earlier. Maybe it's something else. What does that loneliness want? And when you open up to it, you may have feelings of fear come up. Is it safe? Is it okay to open up to these feelings? You can tell your body it's okay, it's safe. Whatever it is, it's okay. What's the longing? What's the yearning? What images come to you? And in your body, how would it feel if you got this thing you were yearning for? Imagine yourself making that connection. How does that feel in your body? Getting the thing that you want, that you're longing for. Imagine you get it. How would that feel? How would you carry yourself? What would the sensations be inside? Each breath, imagining those sensations as you tap into the longing. Chances are you've had something like this in the past, or else you wouldn't even know to want it. So see if you can feel into that feeling that maybe you've had a flavor of in the past. Can you remember how it felt? breathing it in, letting it wash over you. Notice if there's a voice that comes up that says, shut it down, don't want this, don't look at this, don't open to this, it's not safe. And we can keep looking at that voice. We don't have to get rid of it. We can just say to it, it's safe. I know you're trying to protect me, but it's actually okay to want, to long for. You're doing it all the time, whether or not you open to it or not. So we can be kind to that voice and keep coming back to the feelings. Keep sitting right in the heart of that longing. And if you'd like, you can also ask the question, what's underneath? Is there a longing underneath this longing? Is there a desire underneath this desire? See what happens. See where it takes you. If I got this thing that I want, what would that mean about me? How would that feel? What do I really want? What do I really want? How would I feel when I got it? Can I feel some of that right now? Recognizing and opening to the feeling itself. Notice if your mind is taking you somewhere. You can always notice, where did it just take me? And see if you can gently release wherever those thoughts are taking you and come back into the experience again, into the longing, into that feeling, that desire that's underneath maybe all the other desires. That desire that's at the heart of loneliness, that's calling to your attention. You can say to it, I hear you, I see you, I feel you. You really, really want this thing. And it's beautiful that you want it. It's okay to want it. We don't know if you'll get it. We don't know when you'll get it. You can release that need to get it immediately and just come back to the feeling. This longing, this desire, it's a good thing. It's bringing me to something important. It's allowed to be here. Perhaps as you open to it, you also notice somehow so much of what we really want, we actually might even have a little bit of it right now. If what we want is to be loved, and we really open up to that desire to be loved, sometimes you can actually touch and feel the places you're loved right now. If you want a break or rest or a vacation, we open up to that desire. You can sometimes touch a place inside that feels quite calm, rested, and at peace. Notice if that's true for you. If it's not, that's okay. And if it is, you can just notice, maybe feel a little bit of gratitude, opening up to that part of yourself. Taking just another deep, relaxing breath. And when you're ready at your own pace, you can very slowly open your eyes if they're closed. I'm going to ring the bell, and that should allow you to slowly bring your attention back. So take a few minutes now to reflect on what came up for you. What did it feel like to open up to the desire and the longing at the heart of loneliness? Some of us might be used to stuff like this, and some of us it might be very scary or very uncomfortable. If you have any questions or you want to talk about sort of what came up for you, feel free to put it into the chat now. And throughout the day today, you can practice this feeling, or not even today, anytime going forwards. A real interesting inroad into working with loneliness is finding that kernel of longing, that kernel of desire, and seeing what is there. Can I open to this? Can I move into that space and feel what it feels like to feel it? So I see a question, what if I couldn't stop tearing up? And then It was hard to let that emptiness out. How do you let it out and, cry if that's what wants to come up? But it was hard to, sounds like it was hard to actually let it out. So that's beautiful, number one. And number two is trust your body. It wasn't wanting to fully let it out in this session. That's okay. It came up to a point that it felt comfortable and then it was not comfortable anymore. That's okay. You can say to your body, okay, it's okay. It's okay to be closed. Um, One time a teacher said to me, I said to the teacher, like, I feel so closed all the time and I want to be open. And she said, well, are you open to being closed? And that's what I want to suggest for you. Can you be open to the level of openness just that you're at right now? And when your body is ready, it will come out. You keep giving it that signal that it's safe, it's okay, and it doesn't need to open beyond what it feels comfortable. Another question, I felt some anger and resentment during the practice. Is there a better way to refocus the thoughts on longing? Beautiful question and good noticing of what's coming up for you. This might be a strange response, but I don't think you should actually refocus. I think you should explore what's happening with that anger and resentment. That's coming up for a reason. That anger and that resentment want to be seen. Usually underneath anger is hurt and a woundedness. And so maybe that's the part that wants to be seen right now more than longing. And so if that's what's coming up for you, I suggest you stay with it. You provide yourself a loving, compassionate home for that anger and resentment. Doesn't mean that we have to believe it or get lost in the thought cycle, but just notice where am I feeling hurt? Where was a boundary crossed? And can I take care of that hurt? Can I kind of cradle and be loving and kind to that hurt? Another question, I don't usually have time to focus this much energy on yourself. Is there a mantra or a quick reminder that you can say to yourself to open up? Yes. And that one would be, when you feel lonely or you feel kind of that sting or that pain of loneliness in the middle of the day, a good quick route in is to say, okay, what do I want? Because again, there's usually a desire at the heart there. What do I want here? And what do I really want? Sometimes the first thing you want is like, I just want, a friend that's here with me, or I just want, a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And if you could ask yourself the second question, what do I really want? I want that feeling of connection. I want to be seen right now. Is that what I really want? Is there anything underneath that? Maybe yes, maybe no, but that's what your mantra is. What do I want? What do I really want? Just open up to whatever the answer is. And new meditators, you can do this practice as well. It's just looking for that feeling in the body. What do I want at the heart of the loneliness? And are you willing to say to yourself, whatever it is that comes up, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. Your desire, your anger, your resentment, your sadness, you are all welcome here. And it won't last forever. These things do not last forever. So just noticing it and of being with it for the amount of time that you're with it. All right, so to close this out, I want to share with you this really beautiful poem to match all of your really beautiful questions and your beautiful practice today. The poem is by Mark Nepo, and it goes like this. Having loved enough and lost enough, I am no longer searching, just opening. No longer trying to make sense of pain, but trying to be a soft and sturdy home in which real things can land. These are the irritations that rub into a pearl. So we can talk a while, but then we must listen, the way rocks listen to the sea. And we can churn at all that goes wrong, but then we must lay all distractions down and water every living seed. And yes, on nights like tonight, I too feel alone. But seldom do I face it squarely enough to see that it is a door into the endless breath that has no breather. into the surf that human shells call God. And I love this poem. It's called, I forgot what it's called, but it's by Mark Nepo. And it's called, I think, it's called Having Loved Enough and Lost Enough. And I love it because it's that idea of like, oh, I feel so lonely. Can you imagine that loneliness as a door, as something that is here for you as a gift and is here to show you your own longing, your own heart, the thing that you want so that you can be present to it. It was so wonderful to practice with you today. And I hope you will continue to meditate with me. You can go to round.glass/Yael to practice with me some more. And you can find my new course called See Loneliness as a Gift, where you deep dive into this topic in much richer and deeper ways that we've just begun today. The course launches today, and I am so excited. So I hope you have a chance to check it out. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.